Check, check, quick sound check. Can everybody hear us loud and clear? What's going on, Coach Paul?
I hear you loud and clear, Coach Jay. Good to see you. Welcome back at the Buzzers. What's going
Welcome.
on?
Welcome back to all of our buzzer beaters. What is going on? There's a lot going on. These markets are pretty insane. A ton of volatility across the board. We're here to talk about it all. Welcome to At the Buzzer, our market recap, everyone. If this is your first time here, goal of this segment is to review what happened in the markets for the day. We may talk about some markets that you have not traded before, but we believe our goal as traders is to identify opportunity. We want to see how we can take advantage of those opportunities while managing our risk. I'm Coach Jay. 2025, I said I was going to change the intro to this show. That is Coach Paul. Coach Paul, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Coach Paul. I've been with Topstep for 3 years now. I've been involved in the futures trading industry for 4 decades, and I'm here to share my experience and hopefully help you become a better trader.
Thank you for that, Coach Paul. You all, our chat, our audience, thank you for joining us each and every day that you do. Appreciate you being here. We couldn't do these shows without you. Let's get into it. Let's get into the news. We did have some numbers out this morning. PCE price index, which is the inflation gauge that the Fed uses for their rate decisions, came in pretty much in line with expectations year over year, month over month as well. U.S. jobless claims came in at 219,000, a little higher than expected. Forecast was 210. GDP quarter over quarter came in a little bit lower than expected, 0.5%. Forecast was 0.7%. Core PCE came in line with expectations as well at 3%. Consumer spending, we had a bunch of numbers out this morning. Consumer spending a little bit lower than expected, 0.5%. Forecast was 0.6. What else do we have? Had some WASD reports out today. Shout out to all of our ag traders out there, anyone who's trading them. And we had the ever-going, what is the word? The story. I can't think of a better word right now.
The continuing saga.
Yes, there you go. Continuing saga with what's going on in the Middle East. It sounds like a peace treaty, sounds like a ceasefire, and then it's not. We continue to see missiles launched, even though there are ceasefires, or there are certain countries that are not included in the ceasefire. It is a lot going on right now. We had Francis on this morning, Francis Newton, for the opening call. If you didn't see that, I would definitely highly suggest going back and watching that. I love what she said, Coach Paul. You probably love it as well. We were talking about Francis is a wealth manager. We were talking about money on the sidelines, getting ready to. Are they ready to start to allocate some funds? She said slowly. But what I asked was, at some point, if this all ends suddenly, is it potentially too late for big money to get into this market? She said what she's going to do is rely on the technicals.
Well, that's what we do here too.
I thought there could not have been a better answer to that question. Rely on the technicals. And that's coming from a wealth manager, right? She's not looking for 10-tick scalps, 10-point scalps out of the Nasdaq. Rely on the technicals. All right. Let's take anything else you want to mention on the news, Coach Paul?
No, one thing I will add to or fully agree with, when we talked about this earlier this week, there's money sitting on the sidelines, and price doesn't matter. It's allocation. And if they wait too long, then what do they chase? Performance. And that's where, like you said earlier, I laughed at it, but you could see in a very short time, all-time highs. I am not predicting that. Don't get me wrong, but with that statement in the equities, who's left to sell it to them?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It could happen real quick. Comments from Cuba's president here. I won't step down. Seeing some people talking about Cuba being the next target for the U.S. We will see here. Let's get into the quote board. There are about 26 markets on this quote board that I have here. To the downside today, we had lean hogs down 0.45%, the Nikkei down 0.74%, and natural gas, our biggest percentage mover to the downside, down 1.76%. To the upside, we have platinum up 2.51%, heating oil up 3.57%, and crude oil up 4.84%. Look at the day crude oil had, it does not seem like it was almost up 5% on the day, but it was a lot of back and forth in that market, a lot of headlines flying around. To talk about our big four, we got crude oil up 4.9%, still moving around right now. The S&P up about 0.5%, 0.52%. Gold up 0.35%. And the Nasdaq, rounding out our big four, up 0.64% on the day. Let's take a look, Coach Paul, at the daily in the Nasdaq. What are you seeing here?
Well, I see a recovery. I see that we've cleared the 20, the 50, and the 200, and we've closed above all of those. This could be the start of the move to all-time highs. We've cleared out the short covering, and we just talked about it. If allocation comes around where that money on the sideline, this could be the base for a nice rally. Look at how many days in a row we've been up in the midst of all this.
Is one down day in the last
2 weeks,
7 trading days. One down day in the last 7 trading days. 6 out of 7. That's pretty bullish.
Yeah. So
on decent volume.
Yeah. So very what can I say? We've gone through the downside. We've recovered all the important moving averages, and we're following through on yesterday's, or should I say yesterday's big hour.
Yeah.
We didn't get, so very constructive and bullish.
Good stuff. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart here. Tells a little bit of a different story. Last night was very quiet. That was one of the most consolidated overnight sessions we've seen in a very long time. There was not a whole lot going on there last night. Maybe you wanted to range trade it. We did have price leave the range to the downside, but this VWAP didn't leave that first 30-minute range until the end of the day. This is a very consolidated session. We kind of talked about this yesterday as well. After that huge move that we had, right, on that 130-minute candle, we got data coming out this morning. We have data coming out tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to see the market consolidate a little bit, especially right at these 25,000s. We did hold the high of this high volume candle from yesterday, and it took a while. These markets did not really do much overnight at all. Anything you want to mention on the overnight session, Coach Paul? Should we get right into the
There's nothing to mention. You just said it.
Yeah. Ems, you're good. You can keep your opinions in the chat. That's fine. Keeps the chat active. Let's look then at the regular trading hour session then. We had first 3-minute opening range, a lot of indecision. A lot of indecision in this market. That first hour, it was where's this trying to go? You could trade it like a range bound market, but where is this trying to go? 25 100s up at the highs here, 25,000s right at the lows. The market was in balance. Anything you want to mention, Coach Paul, here on this opening? I know we both got long eventually. But what did you see here in the morning?
Well, considering last night's balanced trade, I found it was above, all of it was above the pivot of 24,897. Let's just call it 24,900. We didn't touch it. VWAP didn't touch it. So it had a bullish start. So I eliminated the sell side, even though we had the breakout of the opening 3 minutes. I did buy it early to test it. And I got stopped out when we broke out of that low right there. Yeah. A small loss. But I didn't want to get short. Why? After yesterday, right, being above the pivot, would go down without me.
Yeah.
But what happened later in the day, and there was a test. We tested the overnight low, and with declining volume too. So there
Yep.
wasn't. It was more of a test. But when we got back over session VWAP,
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you're usually looking at a 30. There you go.
yeah,
Got back above that session VWAP right here. That was it.
right there.
That was it.
Yeah,
Go ahead, coach.
yeah. That was to me the test of yesterday's movement, because we had selling, but we couldn't take out the lows overnight. We were still above, but we still held that big break from yesterday. And like you said, the half hour candle from from the news.
Yeah.
That was the test.
To be honest, I think my mindset today was I don't want to get short until we start to see price acceptance back inside this candle. Otherwise, there's just they tried it all day yesterday, and we held that. So I don't know that there's any shorts in this market. And we talked about framing this candle out, right, and using that as our next frame of reference. We never traded back into it. So were there opportunities for shorts early on? There were, but I just don't know how comfortable I was in them. And there was a ton of shorts getting stuck in this market at the lows. I have a footprint chart up here, but it's a white chart, so I don't want to blind anybody. But there's you can
Put my
see
sunglasses on.
you can see the trapped selling in the footprint chart. It's actually why I got long right under 24,000s. But I'll spare everyone's eyes. Just believe me. There's some trap selling under 25,000 there in the Nasdaq. All right. Anything else, Coach Paul, you want to mention here?
Yeah, just it was a really strong close. We held up at those highs. We're above, like I talked earlier, we're above the moving averages. There is, like I said, sellers are driving this higher now. So that's about it.
Raspberry trades. Trust me, bro. There's trap sellers everywhere. Okay, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up.
Yeah, all right.
I changed the color of it. I'm bringing this up on a different platform, similar to how people use Bookmap and things like that. Share this real quick. Make sure there's nothing on there that I don't want to share. All right. So what we're looking at here is, see this negative delta right here, and this is a footprint chart, but it's filtered, right? So it's every 40 ticks in the Nasdaq, because I don't need to know what happens at every tick. I just need to know a general area where we see trap selling, and you can see this negative 492 delta. What does that mean? Somebody came in and tried to sell this under the major level of 25,000, and I don't want to get, I think too many times, and we say this all the time, too many times people try to figure out how to get long down here. That's not your trade. Once this person gets stuck, this entity, right? And people will say, oh, it's not a person, it's the market. Whoever's selling down here and they don't get anything for it, you see this positive delta right above this? This to me is saying that whoever that is stuck, and there's the potential for us to push. So where I started getting long was in this area in the 980s, and then adding to the position with some micros as we push above, because whoever's trapped down here has to cover to get out. Very similar to the short squeeze that we saw at the end of the day yesterday in the S&P. There was so much, 31,000 negative delta in the S&P 10 minutes to go into the close.
Today?
Yesterday. If you saw that rally yesterday, negative 31,000 delta at the highs with 10 minutes to go. There's a squeeze, and this one, I think there's just probably some holdover negative delta from yesterday, and again, they got stuck under 25,000 major level, and that was it. Just a really nice push to the upside from there.
Nice trade. Right. But I like to follow up on it. That's selling like that has to have some continuation.
Yeah. Yep.
Because on the other side of that selling is what?
Buying.
I just an old quote from Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, one of the greatest books on trading. If you haven't read it, read it. And there's a quote in there. It's he who sells what isn't his and buys it back or goes to prison.
Yep.
That's what a trap seller does.
Yep.
You need follow through, or what do you have to do?
Got to get out.
You add to the buying.
Yeah, you probably start the you start the rally. Uh, as I fly, I saw your comments. You said you're thinking about trading with Topstep. First of all, thank you for hanging out with us in the chat. I see you here all the time. But if you think about getting a Topstep account, I think it's a great thing to do. I know you trade your own personal, but to have a prop account on the side as well that you trade in parallel, I think is a great idea. As far as account suggestions, I'm gonna say the 100K. It's my favorite account. The profit target is less than the 150K, right? You got to make $3,000 less, but you have a little bit more drawdown than the 50K, and it's 99 bucks. Uh, that's my suggestion. Trade it small, trade it with micros, but that would be what I say there.
Yeah, I agree.
Coach Paul, are we in buy the dip mode?
Yes, we are. For now, I
Yeah.
mean, just like anything, you have to define it and frame out the risk.
Mhm.
But that's I'll put it this way: I'm in that mode,
Yeah.
so it works for me.
Yeah. Trade location still matters because the volatility, the tweets, the truth social posts can come at any time. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one.
Yeah,
And I'm kind of welcoming that environment if that's where we're going. This last couple of months in trading has been a difficult time. You see a lot of people say it. It's been rough. If the markets get super directional again, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Um,
I'll add to that. Yes, until a tweet comes out and it says something that's going to drive the market down. But guess what you have? You have framed out your risk and you're going to take a reasonable loss because you can't control the uncontrollable.
yep.
And we're in that environment. Why I'm actually, if you can bring up that daily again with a line
Uh,
chart,
Nasdaq daily. Here you go. Oh yeah. Yep.
okay?
Inverse head and shoulders.
The inverse Batman. So that's what I'm looking at. But sure, I believe me, I purposely don't listen to the news because I don't want to get influenced by the news.
Yeah.
I want to be influenced by the market's structure and action. But like I said, I'll never enter a trade unless I know I have the risk framed out and a stop. So yeah, you're exactly right. And if that happens and it does turn around hard, it'll be the best loss of. I call it a winning trade.
Yeah.
All
Absolutely.
right.
As I fly, day trade with a line chart. Interesting. Interesting. Coach Paul does as well sometimes. Take a quick look at the S&P back above the 200 moving average, held it as a support. Stick save for that 50 moving average going under the 200 for now. And the Russell, talk about all-time high watch. Rusty might be the first one to do it. We are just under 4.5% off of the all-time high.
I love the Russell.
Great market. I didn't
No,
trade it
we had
today,
this.
but it's a great market.
It's a market where, like we talked about this. Was it earlier this week or last week? Is a good
Mhm.
place to learn how to trade.
It is. Definitely is. Billy was saying very similar on the ES trap sellers last 2 days in a row, 6,800 to 6,810s. I'm paranoid
Mhm.
of another gap up, then liquidation into the weekend, but nothing points to that on the order flow. Yeah, I mean, trade what's in front of you, right? I think Francis was saying it this morning as well. Um, she doesn't know how much big money wants to hold a position into the weekend since it seems like we always get the escalations on a Saturday or Sunday. So we'll see. But for right now, they shorts are looking kind of stuck right now. We'll see. Of course, that can change literally in an hour and a half. That could change. That could change in the next minute. And that's the environment we're in, but got to trade what's in front of you. Let's take a look at the crude oil market. Crude was an interesting one today. Times when you map out high volume.
Yeah, well, there's there's literally a fundamental reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is about buyers and sellers. What does the market do?
Facilitate trade. Who wants to buy? Who wants to
Facilitates
sell?
buyers and sellers.
Right. Who wants to buy? Who wants to sell? We'll meet you where you're at. And I love doing this. This was the ceasefire candle. And it set the midpoint, set the high of the day in crude oil, and we had a volume absorption up there at those highs, Coach Paul.
Yes, we did. I want to show you that. So overnight, that was a good. Overnight, we had what? Sideways movement to some buying. We frame out that first half an hour.
The average is off for now. Here you go.
So what we have, but it's just a dead bounce, not even a bounce. It was a repair level. The selling, dramatic selling was over. Now, whatever the news was, what we stayed in that range for, oh my God, till London, I believe, or even, yeah, I think it was London. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we started getting some buyers, and we got above VWAP and we left the range. And then VWAP started ticking up, daily VWAP. And look at the volume. It was climbing, and then we made the high of the day on the highest volume of the day. But look at the candle. What kind of candle is it at the high?
A doji, an indecision. Is that a dragonfly doji? Is that what that is?
Almost. It has a little bit of room in it, but a doji. But what we call it what you will. What happened? Market rallied to the highs of the day and finished basically on high volume. And considering yesterday's movement, you can't sputter. They sputtered. So that buying stopped. I won't say that, it found, what is it? It's balance. Now we go to the next candle. All right. And we broke the low. We finished lower. And that's okay. Right there is a warning. When we broke that low, of the second candle,
this one
that's when the flush happened, and it happened quick.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. You guys want to see a footprint chart on that one? Do it.
Yes, coach.
Here we go. So these are 15-minute chart, 15-minute candles. We had, anytime you hear me on Topstep TV and I'm calling out, hey, X amount of volume traded in a second, when those are at highs or lows of a move, they can be some of the most interesting moves.
And so it goes in, and I'm gonna let you finish. It goes into the structure of that candle.
Yeah.
And continue.
Yeah. This was 300 contracts traded in a second. 87% of that was positive delta, and it set the high for the day. Now, that could be stops going off. That could be someone, looking to market order buy. I'm pretty sure there was headlines coming out at that time, but it didn't go anywhere. It got no traction. And That's it, right? Stop dead in its tracks. And again, is my job to try to sell this high? No. My job is to notice, oh shit, that guy's stuck. Is there an opportunity for me to take advantage of his misfortune? If I'm assuming that that is a market order buying coming in. We talked about this yesterday. There's opportunity in imbalance. Somebody bought a ton of contracts up here, and we don't know why they were buying. Could have been buying to open, could have been buying to close. Don't
Could
care.
have been short.
Could have been short. Somebody bought a ton of contracts there, and the market didn't move. Somebody's stuck. Somebody thought crude oil was going back up to 120s. And again, my job is not to sell up here. My job is to say, okay, they're stuck. If I can get an opportunity maybe somewhere in this range and my stop goes on the other side of them, then there's opportunity for me to sell with them. And then we see the aggressive selling on the way down because we just rallied how far in crude oil, $5 in crude, and then everyone's stuck up here. When somebody pulls the emergency alarm, everybody runs for the same exit. And we get that liquidation like we talked about the other day. This is the Quantower platform I'm using. You can connect your Project X account to it. You do pay for volume analysis. And the next time I say that, I may be an affiliate for Quantower. But it's a great platform. And again, you don't need this platform. You can see it. Go back to Topstep X. You can see it here. Billy was just saying, this is a beautiful sign here. This rejection on a 30-minute, that's a great sign if you're looking to get short.
You know, every time that more I know about this and the more I see it, and I'm going to bring this story back again. It was like in a trading pit where it was loud. It was buying. Everybody, it was trading. It was people are it literally loud as a jet engine, and then it just got quiet. It's an analogy for volume. So literally on the floor, it was audio volume. So when that all of a sudden when it would get quiet, what happened? The big buyer stopped. And if you can't get above that, there's really kind of only one way to go. As soon as you get some kind of selling, it's got a very high probability, and we see that. How many times have we seen this week?
In crude or in every market? In crude, we've seen
gold,
it maybe 10 times this week. It's
in crude.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So there's a question here from Sleepy Mocha, and again, these footprint charts, I don't trade with them all the time, right? And the reason I'm bringing it up is because it's super relevant. We say it all the time, volume moves the market, right? There is a way to see that without even using the footprint chart, but I just wanted to kind of drive the point home that stuck volume leads to really good opportunities, right? We talked about this yesterday in the imbalance, right? There's opportunities in imbalance. That 300 contract order that got filled, or that 300 lots that traded in a second, where did it happen? This is a point of reference. Now, again, I don't want to look at every single one of those high volume spikes because sometimes there's no context to them. But the context in this one was we retraced 50% of this major sell-off and some stops went off, or somebody tried to market order buy and they got stuck, right? So you don't need those footprint charts to see it. When it's relevant, we'll bring it up. But I don't want to, overcomplicate this either, but it kind of just goes again back to the fact that volume moves these markets for sure. Anything else you want to mention in crude oil, Coach Paul?
No, but I do want to give a hearty congratulations to Pretty Lily.
Yes, absolutely.
Getting a payout, long-term listener. That makes me really happy. Congratulations.
Yeah, really awesome, Pretty Lily. Congratulations. Don't spend it all in one place. But congratulations. And if that's the first one, that is just validation of the work that we do here every day. And it means you can get more of them. So keep trading well. Keep trading well. All right, let's get over to gold. I don't see any questions here. 5'4" Fox, thank you. Got to give a shout out to my barber again. Uh, took
Yeah,
care of
you
me
look
today.
pretty good there.
Took care of me today. Hey man, what does Deion Sanders say? You look good, you feel good, you play good, they pay good. Shout out to Dion. Shout out to
Well,
Dion.
you fill in the boxes.
Right. All right, let's take a look here at gold on the daily. Gold on the daily. What are we seeing here, Coach Paul?
A test of the 20. Um, Still in balance. We had some slight buying, but balance is the first thing I see that we're still in the middle of this correction of the break. But it just has no energy like it used to. It's like I want to bring it the gold massacre off those all-time highs. Half that audience isn't back.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, we're trading at towards the low of that spike from that break, and we're not getting any traction.
Nope.
And we're in that range, but we're still above the 20. 50 is looming overhead. It's just not ready to break out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a good genius monkey. Yeah, the momentum is dying. But it's holding the 200. But there was some good trades interday.
Oh yeah, there was. Yes, there was. Let's take a look at the 30-minute then. What is that white line, chat? We talked about this one yesterday. Talked about this during the opening call as well. I was super bullish gold this morning. Not bullish enough to actually take the damn trade, but bullish enough to say that I didn't want to sell it. What are we seeing here, Coach Paul, under 30? We had another flat overnight session, range bound, tag the 200
Looks like
moving
the
average.
crude.
Yeah, it does, right?
I'm almost tick for tick. So, but we had the support of the 200. We were above it. No one wanted to take it out. There was nothing there. That almost looks like a holiday market.
It does.
And
don't get it twisted. This is not a small range. This is 40 points in gold. So if you want to range trade it, you can. But still be careful over leveraging in this market. This is a lot of space there.
yeah. But look, when we did break out, and it took a long time, it was this. I mean, this is very similar to the crude.
Yeah.
We broke out. We stayed above VWAP, and actually, we stayed above VWAP the whole day. I wouldn't have expected that considering the break at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was actually great. If we put a line chart there,
Love those line charts. Shout out to Nick for a tick in the chat. Nick says, "Is the low of the year in what market, Nick? What market? Equities, maybe, man. I don't know. The internet is forever, so if I say that and I'm wrong, somebody's gonna clip it.
Oh yeah,
have some
you're gonna remember that.
But
I would say it is for now.
Yeah, for now it is. Looking pretty bullish here. Here's your line chart.
So in that line chart, it just makes it easier. We keep in that mix. What's happening to VWAP? It's slowly creeping up, and we close above VWAP. Finally.
Mm-hmm.
But and then we stay above and we start moving out. It's to me when I look at I put a line chart just to look. It's just cleaner to look at the trend
for sure.
But what was important is that VWAP in this chop was what? It was slowly creeping up.
Mm.
So when you study the equation, it can't go up unless there's an imbalance of buying.
Right. Coach, a question for you. At what
Uh-huh.
point in this, right? Because you see the VWAP slowly creeping up. This has to develop over time, right? We can review this now, but this is 8 hours of this VWAP creeping up. At what point do you say, okay, that's that might be a signal for a trade?
A good question. I would say if you wanted to trade it, I'm going to trade it long from the long side.
Right,
And you just said it, I don't want to get short, but we're doing that above some context. We're doing that where right above the 200-day moving average.
right.
So you could take some short-term small losses trying to buy it above VWAP,
Hmm. Yeah,
and but there is no small losses in the gold.
gotta
That's
trade
why I'm not
micros.
trading it right now. Even in the micros, it's $300. But overall, reading the market, what's happening is we're grinding.
Yeah,
One of the things is you can take that into an hourly chart. You could look at the daily and get an idea. But right now, I'm eliminating one side.
only buy
Where
side.
I get where I get crude, where I get crushed, I should say, is in waiting for the breakout, buying the breakouts, getting stopped out, buying it, getting short. That so I want to eliminate that.
Yeah,
My worst days were always chop days. So I'm just looking to buy it. The patience is, and I think you called it, when does it close out of that half hour range?
yeah. Right around
There.
6:30 Eastern time this morning.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Then
say,
risk.
for me, when it's just choppy, sometimes we get gold in the Asia session. We all know this, right? Shanghai Open, Tokyo Open. There is just some urgency in gold. When there's no urgency in gold by 9 p.m. Eastern time, maybe I'll be awake for London and trade it then. But I'm just gonna have to wait because the market's waiting, and it waited, you know, 13 hours before it got to close outside that range. Patience.
Yeah. So it would take that truly, or the two ATRs
Yeah,
being above the
just got
200
to put it
moving
on, right?
average. Yeah, on the half hour. Okay, we're holding that. VWAP is above the 200, right? That stayed above the 200. So you want to be, if you, one way to do it is just buy it.
Yeah, right.
What's
You
two
like
ATRs?
you like it, buy it. 30 points, $30.
So
Actually, it was more than that. It was about $40 at this time. Because I mean, if you
for two ATRs or two ATRs,
yeah, two ATR was about
so it's
40.
okay. So 40. So it's $400.
Get your 2 to 1.
If yeah. Now you say, well, that's a lot, and I agree.
Yeah,
That wouldn't.
don't
I
take the
mean,
trade.
for one trade, but that's the price of gold.
Right.
But that's another way to do it. And you know what? Put it. It's a set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Now, or you try and buy it and get chopped up. Guess what? You're going to lose $400 in that process.
Yeah.
So, but studying the flow, VWAP never got under the 200. It stayed inside flat until we broke out. And by the way, it was probably about the $400 risk anyway when we broke out.
Oh yeah, still here.
Yeah.
A little less, like 36, but what's the
All
difference?
right. So anyway, what happened at the highs? Let's go through that.
At that
Is that
highest
blue
vol
at the highs?
pretty close to it. Yeah. What time was that? That was 11:48. What time is this candle? Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Nothing else need to be said. Well, yeah, yes, we need to follow through here. What happened on that high when we initially made that high? Look at the volume. I think it was 3 times the average volume.
Yeah, it was pretty close to that. Yep, about 3 times. 9,500 in a 30-minute candle. Average was 3,600.
And then we couldn't make a new high. Yeah.
Volume flattened out. And, and I'm becoming more comfortable taking this trade here. It's just this
Yeah.
high volume here at these highs. A lot of times we've been talking about taking it at the close, but I'm getting a little more comfortable taking this trade up here, chat, when volume doesn't even try. No one even tried. Market kind of just floated around. VWAP from that point stayed a flat line, getting a lot more comfortable just saying, hey, you know what? This is a range trade. If they have more volume behind it, then sure. I'm maybe not taking it immediately after, right? You don't want to take it right here, but after a while, this is 2 hours of development here and nothing. This starts to look like a risk limiter up here. And if you go with Coach Paul's 2 ATRs, even on a 3-minute, your stop is out of the way with bad trade entry. Anything else you want to say on gold, Coach Paul?
No, we still finished over the 200 moving average. So it's holding on.
The weekly looks pretty bullish. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yes, it does.
Oh, that's a different animal.
We can get a weekly candle close inside this range. Just looking pretty good. Sanderd says, is there such thing as being good in chop? I often do well in those while they're building the tension. Yeah, there is. Someone's chop is someone's range, is someone's this is the best trading day of my life. Someone else's, this is the worst trading day of my life. It really depends on the strategy. For me personally, I think I'm pretty good in chop, but I'm Shaq at the 3-point line, right? I know I'm not shooting this. So I'm good at identifying chop. We talked about this the other day. Identifying the market conditions and trading the market conditions are two different things. You could be really good at identifying chop and saying, I don't execute this well, even if I have a strategy for it. I have a strategy for range bound markets. I just showed you one, right? 30-minute candle. Price leaves that candle to the upside. Volume doesn't. Short it. I don't execute those trades well. They don't sit with me well. So I don't take them as much. If it's more so an opportunity like we saw in crude oil where there's this huge imbalance after a big move, those are the trades that I'm Steph Curry at the 3-point, right? I want to put them on and let them work because I know that trade is a higher probability of me executing it well. So yeah, I mean, if you're good in chop, if you're a scalper, if you can identify a range and you're comfortable sitting through the range, to me, the biggest thing is anytime I get in a trade, this is the way I was taught to trade. Because we're trading volume, we're trading momentum. Goal was to get the market to move in your direction as quickly as possible. With a range trade, the way I look at it, you don't get to choose that time frame, right? It's okay, I have a stop here, the target is on this side, the market is going to choose how it gets there, to me, based on the volume that's trading. The reason I am a volume trader is because to a high probability, if there is follow through flow, think of a faucet, right? You turn on a faucet, as long as you leave it on and the flow is good, you're going to continue to get water, right? That's volume for me. So it really depends on your trade strategy.
Yeah, and it also, and in your personality. Know yourself. You end up trading who you are at the end of the day. So you have to be able to execute. I know this from my experience. Range trading is not my style. Doesn't fit for me. But that doesn't say you can't make. I mean, that's for me. Other
Hope calls them
people.
cash register days.
Yeah, there you go. So know who you are and trade it. But where you can't, it's a rare bird that can do both. I mean, but
Yeah.
quickly, can you blow up that chart a little? Is that a dragonfly?
This is a
candle?
weekly chart. What is this dragonfly pattern? I've heard you mention
It's
this so
where
many
you will
times.
make new lows of a move. It's like a doji.
This here? Are you looking at this?
Yeah, wow, that's a pretty bullish candle.
Yeah.
on the lows, and we've stayed above it. So what is a dragonfly is when you have you break the new lows and dramatically with a big tail.
Okay.
Kind of looks like a dragonfly a little bit, and then you finish
Sense.
unchanged.
Makes sense. That is definitely one of
So
those then. That is definitely one of those. But I do have to get going here, so we're going to end a little bit early. Coach Paul, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
yeah, let you once again plan your trade your plan, and we will talk again tomorrow.
Chad, I like this question, so I'll answer this. Do you have times a day that you prefer to follow certain trends and timeframes? Yes. Uh, if I'm doing a lot of active trading 2 hours after the equity open, I'm probably doing too much. So for me, 9:30 Eastern time to 11:30 Eastern time, my favorite trading window. Sometimes it's not great price action, but that's when the most volume is going to trade. So for me, the best times of the day to trade are around the session opens, London session open, 3 a.m. Eastern time, equity open, 9:30 Eastern time. The Asia session open right as Dakota's starting slow markets. For me, that's the best time to find momentum trades. If you're looking for range trades, stay out of those hours. If you're looking for a range trade, I don't know. If I was a range trader, I don't know if I would show up to my desk before 11:30 Eastern every day. And let the market range and then go from there. Do you wait the first 15 minutes or so? I'll usually wait 3 minutes. There are times where I wait 3 seconds. Really depends on the market. Really depends on the market. Coach Paul, anything else you want to say to that?
First half an hour on Globex, and the first 3 to 5 minutes in the equities.
There you go.
Today.
There you go. All
Like
right.
you could say, I'm an opening trader. I trade the open and try and catch a brave.
Same. Other than that, there has to be some significant volume or something that happens in the middle of the day, because then you use that as a new open.
Yeah. Sometimes I catch a Malibu type wave. Other times they catch a Lake Erie type wave. So
Man, yeah,
yeah,
we want the Malibu waves, right?
in Buffalo
Yeah,
in the winter.
I know those. I know those very well.
And there's guys who do it.
Shout out to Buffalo. All right, we are
All
gonna
right.
get out of here. We got coaches doing classes in Discord after this. Coach Hoop at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we have no Coach Ray tonight, but Coach Vince at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Dakota for slow markets at 8 p.m. Eastern as well. Aaron with the London Open 2:30 Eastern time. No D tomorrow with metal markets because tomorrow is Friday. We'll be back for the opening call, checking out that CPI number. Again, you don't have to guess what the market is going to do after CPI. You just have to wait for the market's reaction to it. Don't try to be a hero holding on to position into that number. Slippage is a real thing. Go ahead, Coach.
Tina Murphy got a payout.
Let's
this
go.
is great stuff. Congratulations.
To Naya, right? So Tanaya, I'm pretty sure you were the trader that said you had $500 left in your XFA 2 weeks ago. All right, I had to go, but Tanaya,
Come back
amazing
tomorrow.
stuff. Yeah, amazing stuff. You had $500 in that XFA. If it's the same account, whether it's the same account or not, finally getting to a payout, congrats. But if that's the same account, the Masters is this weekend, right?
Yes, it is. Golf clap.
Golf clap for you. Golf clap for you. That's amazing. Pray well, everybody. You can all do this if you manage your risk, you're patient with yourself, and you believe in your process. We will see you all tomorrow. One more day to end the week. And we'll see you soon.
Ciao.
Bye.